Well, Tom, if you don't mind, I guess we'll just start with kind of how you're feeling right now. I mean, you knew Tim as not only a player but also a broadcaster, also his involvement in the community. So you knowing him personally, how are you feeling right now?
Devastated. I mean, all of us are. 57 years old, his wife Stacy, his children Trevor and Bree. You feel gutted. 57 years old. It all happened so fast. You know, a month ago we knew nothing about this. The diagnosis, word coming out last week, a lot more people finding out about it. But we got the call yesterday during the pregame show while we were on the air live, and nobody had any idea he was in such bad situation. So we're still in shock here.
So this really was as private as the Red Sox have said it was. I mean, sounds like even the closest people to him did not know how severe it was.
Yeah, that's right. Some of us knew that he was undergoing the situation. We knew that he wanted to keep it private, so all but one of us did. And it came out last week, which was a shock to everyone. But again, no idea how aggressive it was. A guy who did so much to raise money in the fight against cancer was getting the best care. So it was an absolute shock on Sunday.
Well, and we just saw him up in Maine in June for the Drive Four Kids golf tournament. And I think, I don't think anybody would have made that assumption by any means. So anyway, one thing that occurred to me, Tom, I saw that tweet from the Red Sox, well, a post on X, from the Red Sox talking about how all the players were in the dugout for the season finale, only wearing the jerseys, no jackets, no overshirts, no nothing, because it was meant to be some type of tribute to Wakefield. Can you help me understand the significance of that?
Yeah, in fact, I was just talking to Alex Cora about it here at Fenway Park a few minutes ago. That if you look in a major league dugout, a lot of guys wearing sweatshirts, a lot of guys wearing zip ups. You can wear things over your uniform. You may not be wearing the uniform. Alex Cora is not usually just in a jersey, but when Tim Wakefield played the game, one of the things you'll hear from his teammates is that he was a tough veteran on the young players. But part of that was because he wanted you as a young player to understand how special it was to be part of a major league team. And part of that was dressing the part, was acting the part. So Tim Wakefield always had his jersey on, always looked his Sunday best in his uniform. And Alex Cora, right before the game, finding out with everyone else, just said, today we dress like major leaguers. Today we all look our best. I want everyone in this dugout looking like they're ready to go out there and play. And that was a nice little tribute to Tim.
I love that. Look, we talked about it briefly just a second ago. He's so involved in the community in ways that I couldn't go through all the list of accolades that he has, right? Aside from the stuff that he did on the field, 200 major league wins, 2 World Series titles, 8 postseason appearances with the Red Sox, right? All of those things are great. And then on top of that, he's got the 2010 Roberto Clemente Community Sportsman and Community Involvement Award, 7-time Red Sox nominee. I mean, when I hear all of these things about how involved he was, Jimmy Fund captain, chairman of the Red Sox Foundation. I mean, when you look at all that in its totality, does it blow your mind?
It does. I mean, very few people can be that good at any one of those things. And he was good at all of it. He was a Red Sox Hall of Famer as a pitcher. And I'm glad you brought up the numbers because I think today we're spending a lot of time talking about what he did in the community, and rightfully so. And he told me the Roberto Clemente Award was the most important honor he was ever given as a player. And this is a Red Sox Hall of Famer. But he won 200 games. He's only the 89th modern day pitcher in Major League Baseball to reach that milestone. Only Cy Young and Roger Clemens won more games in a Red Sox uniform than Tim Wakefield. He was a hell of a pitcher. I always say he harnessed the magic of baseball. He harnessed a magic pitch. We all thought we could do it. We all thought we could throw that wiffle ball and go out there in a major league level, but we couldn't. Nobody could. Nobody can master the knuckleball, but he came pretty close. And he was a special guy. And then when he retired, he continued to harness the magic of baseball, using the platform of the Red Sox and his career to help so many thousands of people. Here, back home in Florida for him, he was so involved in the community and so willing to help. And his willingness to do that literally saved lives and changed thousands of lives for the better.
You were just saying it's really hard to be good at just one of those things. When you look at the kind of the pairing, the juxtaposition of those two incredible simultaneous careers, if you will, how does that make you feel, someone who knew him?
Well, it was just amazing to watch him. He was up in Maine for the Drive For Kids golf tournament, right? I mean, let's say he was like a one handicap. He was a 200 game winner. He was a guy who sat on the boards of multiple charities and helped thousands of lives get the money they so desperately needed. I don't know how he found the time to do everything he did. And through that all was an incredibly devoted father to his two kids, an incredibly devoted husband to Stacy. And again, someone you could call and ask for help and who would drop everything and come. He was just a special human being.
No kidding. Obviously never played a game at Hadlock Field, was not affiliated with the Sea Dogs. Did he ever mention traveling outside of Boston, other parts of New England that really stuck with him? Anything that rings a bell to you?
Well, it's funny. He loved Portland he and I came up to Portland together back, it must have been May, to announce the Drive For Kids and some of the stuff going on. And then I was up there with him for the tournament. We went out to Eventide and had lobster rolls while we were up there and just talked about what a great town. And just about a month ago, he and I were talking, and he told me that he and his wife, Stacy, shot up to Maine for a night just because she didn't get to come when we were having those events. And so he wanted her to see Commercial Street and walk in the Old Port and show her the town that he was falling in love with. So he loved Portland and loved Maine.
Tom, I got to get running because I got a 5:30 show, but I want to ask you one last thing. Yeah. There's a memory in my mind of Tim Wakefield that sticks with me. It's more of a Doug Mirabelli memory. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about with the state police escort, but I think it speaks to his uniqueness and how special he was that there is one person that could catch that knuckleball. Is there any memory that sticks out to you about Tim?
Well, that night, I'll always remember that night. It's May 1st of the year after they won the World Series, and it was supposed to be Johnny Damon's return to Fenway Park. He was here with the Yankees. It was the opening game of the Yankee series, but instead it was the night we were all waiting for Doug Mirabelli to arrive in a police escort. The only place on earth where a backup catcher would get a police escort across town during rush hour so that he could catch Tim Wakefield. And I'll tell you another one, John Flaherty, who was Randy Johnson's catcher with the Yankees, finished his career at spring training with the Red Sox. And his final task was he was going to be the new Doug Mirabelli and back up Veritek and catch Wakefield. I think he caught him 3 times at spring training and retired after 20 years. It's like, I can't do that. Doug Mirabelli used to joke, everyone knew my number because they always saw me running back to the backstop to pick up the ball. It was such an incredible pitch. You couldn't hit it, and very few could catch it. Doug Mirabelli was about the only one who could catch it, and that was a marriage made in baseball heaven.
Tom, from all of us here, I just want to send our deepest condolences to you, NESN, the Red Sox family and organization. I know fans all over the region are feeling this one.
Yeah, Chris, thank you so much. It means a lot. And, we're talking with Lou Merloni and Alex Cora here at the ballpark a little while ago, and we were telling stories about his career and laughing. And, we overuse the expression a life well lived, but when you talk about the Red Sox, Tim Wakefield lived a life well lived, and make sure we celebrate that life as well as mourn his passing.
Awesome. Tom, I appreciate your time. I'm going to go run and get this on at 5:30.
Go get him. I know how it works. Yeah.
Take care, guy.
Chris.
Thank you for your time.
Take